I remember I quit the swim team because I didn't like competition. The idea of winning to me was always overrated. You can compete and win, and that might be your idea of a swell time. But for me, I prefer exploring things. Chess provided a new world for me to explore.
One day, I was just looking at the board, and I started to imagine things. My mind took off. I could hear the music, the sound of swords, horses whining, catapults launching, dragons circling above, siege machines, drawbridge opening and closing. On and on it went. This is how I make my pieces. I use bottle caps, container caps. I like to try many different varieties. The more pieces that I make using different kinds of caps, you start to figure out which ones work well, which ones don't. And occasionally you find some that allow you to do unique things. You can make interesting pieces with some of them. These form your standard pieces. All the ones about the same size like this one and this one. They're all used for making the standard pieces. This really big one right here is used to make a huge boss piece. This will also make a good boss piece. The ones about this size, these can be used for making bosses or monsters. Same with this one. Maybe also used for making vehicles or locations. These flat ones, these most of the time are used for items. Like this one is flat. And this one right here. And this one. They make good item pieces.
I was real fortunate to find this table. I use it as a means to display some of my stuff, but it can function as an actual tabletop for playing. And also, I can use it to make a three-dimensional board.
These are my most current creations. Making a piece is not so easy because it has to work. You have to play test it. You have to know all the possibilities it may face. Because if you're constantly taking time out and making up rules as you go, it can be frustrating for the people that just want to play. Sometimes you improve a piece where you made the original like 5 years ago, and now you have a new and improved version, but you still like the original. That happens a lot. Other times, I come up with something so unique and so fun, I want to frame it. But those are definitely on the rare side. It's easy to make super powerful pieces, but powerful doesn't mean you're gonna have fun or that the other players are gonna have fun. Making a fun piece, now that's where the true skill comes in. I play video games and I like fighting games. This is the Ninja Warlord. It's probably my favorite piece right now. It reminds me
how I can bring the fun and excitement of fighting games to the chessboard. And for that reason, I really like this piece. This piece is based from the infamous historical chess-playing automaton known as the Turk. There is something very fascinating about the history of the Turk. It was nothing more than a big hoax that tricked people into believing that there was this chess-playing robot called the Turk. Today, of course, this concept is a reality because we can play the computer. Maybe it's something we take for granted. Here are some pieces in a handy container. This is my notebook. This is where other players can look at the rules for any of the new pieces. And this is pretty much all you need. And I'm ready to go play. Oh yeah, and don't forget the board. I first started all this in junior high school. Those are the awkward years, where some kids are bored out of their minds, many rebel and do crazy things that they may regret later on. I was obsessed with making new and cool pieces, making a better game board. So it kept me occupied, kept me out of trouble. It was a very engaging hobby. I see the kids today wanting the latest video games, and those things are not cheap.